Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing some clouds and we're going to be adding some highlights to our painting. And for our clouds, because we got two different colors, we're going to start out with some of our orange that we've lightened up with some titanium white. And you can use, this is a number 4 fan brush, soft bristle or the stiff bristle, doesn't really matter. You just want to get the brush loaded up with that light orange color. I'm just gonna put your hand here. We're just gonna come in right along this orange line. We'll start like this. We're just gonna just like that. That's perfect. Before we add our lighter white color, you just want to soften this out a bit. We're just gonna take this is a longer bristle, soft bristled brush. They work really nice for just lightly fanning the edges. And this will show you how to make some really nice soft looking clouds. All I'm doing is these little circular motions, just hitting it along the top edge. You don't want to hit it too hard or you'll pretty much make that orange color disappear. That's pretty much all you want for right now. Then we can just dab off the majority of that orange color that we had on our brush. Once you got that wiped off, I'm just going to grab some of our titanium white. We'll do the same thing. I'm just going to load up the fan brush. You can load up both sides. It'll make it better for when you're adding the cloud. This technique works really well for making clouds look like realistic and really nice and soft. We'll just start, same thing. We can actually just start here. We'll just do this little swirl. That's all we're doing. You're basically just smushing the brush into the canvas and swirling. Get a little bit more titanium white on our brush. Same thing, just we're leaving a little bit of that orange showing, just coming along the top of it and kind of flicking upwards, doing a few little downwards ones. Almost lost the brush there. Maybe we'll just add a little thing there. And same thing, just going to come in, soften that. We're just hitting the edges. Now that we got that little area in, we're just going to grab a small brush, get some of that titanium white on there. I'm just going to start popping in a few bright spots. You don't want to add too much, you're just kind of adding a few little highlights to where some little very puffy clouds would be. Maybe we'll carry this one up a little bit. Like that. And we're just kind of keeping it near the top area. And then finally, once again, we'll just grab our brush. We'll just lightly fan those. And there we have some clouds. Now we're going to just add some highlights to our bushes and a few different things. And so I'm just going to grab another clean brush, or you could use the same one you're using just to make sure it's clean. We're just going to get some of our yellow orch on there. You don't want too much, you just want to kind of dab the tip of the bristles in there. Once you have your yellow orch, you're just going to kind of start up in here. We're just hitting along the edge of that green area. You don't have to do too much, like just an area like that's good. Same thing, we're just going to get a bit more of that color on there. And we can pop in a few little things here. There's a few bushes out distance here. Just want to be really light when you hit on those ones. Don't want to be adding too much paint. We have a few little things over here. Now we just want to get a clean brush. You don't have to use the same brush, we'll just get a clean one. Unless you just need to clean the brush, and that's fine too. And we're going to get some of our burnt sienna. Same thing, just dab it in. And we'll pop in a little bit of color right in there. Maybe some down in here. All we're doing right now is just building up these bushes. Same thing with this color up here. We'll just add a little bit. This gives the impression that maybe there's some other little bushes going on there. We can take some of our lighter green mix. A couple little things. And then for these little distant areas, just pop in a few little spots. Now that we've got these little areas in here, we're just going to take a small little liner brush. You're pretty much just scratching in a few little branch areas. We'll put in a couple little things here. That should be good enough. And we can add some highlights to our trees. For that, we're just going to use some of our yellow orch. Just pop in a couple little spots along the top. Just where you think the tops of the tree canopies would be. That's all you need for that tree. With that color. Same thing for these distant ones. You just want to slightly pop in a little bit of color on the tops of the canopy. And the trick with these trees is you just don't want to add too much. Really don't need too much color for them. Spot it here a little better. And we're just gonna take some of our cad yellow, or you can use lemon yellow, and mix it with some of our green. You don't want to use too much green. The idea is to have like a lot more yellow in the mix than green, and you'll end up with this nice kind of green highlight color. I'm just gonna hit a few little areas. Same thing over here, we'll just lightly hit a few spots. And we have some nice color on our trees. Just tap in a little bit over on this one. And for these evergreens, we're just going to do the same thing. You just want to get a fan brush, a little bit of that Viridian green, and you can just dab right into the yellow at this point. Just have a little bit of the Viridian green on the tip of the fan brush, and you can kind of mix it right there on the spot. Like I said, just don't use too much green. You can just hit these little spots in here. All you're doing is just tapping on the tree. You can come straight down the center and then just do little taps outward. this bigger guy over here. I'm just going to hit it with, well, we can start straight up like this. And straight down. Even, I'll just bring it straight down. Once it's like that, just going to hit it with the corner of the brush. And bring over here. That's pretty much all you're doing, is just hitting it with the corner of the brush. As you move outwards, and press a little harder. And for this next part, we're just going to highlight these little rock areas. We have 3 rocks here. We're just going to add a little highlight to them with some gray. And to do that, you just want to take a tiny amount of your black and mix it right into your titanium white. We're going to use a palette scraper to apply the gray to the stone. Similar to doing the mountains, we'll have a tiny amount of paint on there. All you're doing is just kind of dragging the paint down, letting it fall off the palette knife. Palette scraper. Some of these little rocks can be hard to get at, but take your time. You're just starting just below that dark edge. Letting the paint fall right off the scraper. And we'll just use a clean scraper, get that same color on there. We're just going to add a few little lines here. And the reason that we want to add a couple of lines is because if we blend it, it'll just add some nice texture to the tree. Now just grab a blending brush and just lightly soften it. And we have some nice little texture going on with the tree. And there is this little bush here that we forgot to highlight, so we'll just highlight that as well. So I'm just going to use a little bit of that light green. You just take your fan brush, tap in a few little spots. And we can take some of that yellow orch. And just dab the tip of the brush in. We're just going to pop in a few little spots. And of course, now that we got that in there, we can find a spot to hide our initials. We'll just take some of that dark black mix. And then maybe we'll just, maybe we'll hide it right here. So much for hiding it. And that's a painting. Hope you had fun, and we'll see you next time for the next painting. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great day.